Hi guys! Degrassi episode 9 is coming to you. Something weird is going on with my computer where it doesn't want to open things in Word for some unknown reason. I don't know. But anyway, we'll get that figured out. So, episode 9 of Degrassi. Okay, let me pull up the online versions. Season 9 is interesting, to say the least. I think that, introducing Declan and Fiona is... they end up having a lot of characters come on the show that I don't really understand why they're there, but they end up having a purpose for them and they end up showing that. So, okay. So, episode 1 and 2 are two-parters, so we'll read both of them. When Mia is offered a modeling contract in Paris, Peter decides that he'll go with her, but he soon realizes he doesn't fit into her sophisticated world. At a posh party, feeling frustrated and insecure, a guest offers an unlikely escape, which leads Peter on a dark path. Allie becomes jealous when Claire spends more time with the new girl, Jenna. Holly J becomes stressed out when everyone wants something from her. So, girlfriend moving away, meth usage, and new girl. So it's solved in the second episode. In the second episode, Peter calls his mom to help him, end his meth use because he doesn't want to do it anymore. Holly J stands up to Blue and breaks up with him because he was starting to tell her how to do her job of student council president. And I think that it was good for Peter to call his mom to have somebody there to help him through that. And I think it was good for Holly J to break up with Blue because nobody should tell you how to live your life. Episode 3, Shoot to Thrill. Allie starts to feel like her relationship with Johnny is going nowhere. In order to fix it, she decides to spice things up a bit. Meanwhile, Fiona finds the male students at Degrassi rather repulsive, until she meets Riley, who may just have a future with Fiona, if his past doesn't hurt it, that is. So, sexting, and not showing PDA leads to sexting. So, Miss H talks to Allie, but she still doesn't have the phone with the pictures, so... I think it's good that Miss H didn't report Allie to the police. I think it's good that she had a talk with her because it seemed like Allie really started to understand what she did. But I'm glad that they had a scene where an adult was really trying to tell the kid, how wrong it was. I don't think people do that in real life a lot of the time. Episode 4, Close to Me. Jane loves Spinner from the bottom of her heart, but when the gorgeous new boy flirts with her, she finds it hard not to give in. Casey's new coach finally lets him play in a game, but when Casey makes a mistake, the coach freaks, and Casey sees it as a sign that he shouldn't be on the basketball team. So, cheating. Jane cheats with Declan. It's an ongoing problem. It doesn't get solved in this part. Episode 5, You Be Illin. Allie decides she's done with Johnny, however, after talking with him, she then starts falling for him once again. But when he tells her something shocking, all of her hopes disappear. Meanwhile, Peter wants to regain his position in Studes, but they've moved on and recruited Jane. So, STI scare. She breaks it off for good with Johnny. I think that was the best way to do it. Be like, you could have given me an STI. You could have, it's never a good situation. That's why please practice safe sex. Use a condom, use a female condom, birth control, just practice safe sex. Episode 6, Wanna Be Starting Something. Holly J and Jane surprise themselves during a class project when they bond and start a babysitting business. But Holly J's crush on Declan could ruin things. Dave wants to be on the anti-grapevine, but Shantae refuses to put her cousin in the blog until he does something spontaneous. So, cheating. This is where Jane breaks it off with Declan. I think that was the perfect way to go. First of all, you should never cheat on your partner, but you should break it off with the person that you're cheating with. I've been cheated on. It sucks. Yeah, just don't cheat. But I guess the way that they fixed it was the good way to go. Break it off with the guy that you're cheating on your significant other with. Episode 7, Beat It Part 1. After an embarrassing incident in lifeguard class, Riley is determined to prove to the world and himself that he's straight. Meanwhile, Anya lies to Sav about her after-school activities. Also, Dave gets confident and asks Jenna out, and they go out. He assumes that Jenna is his girlfriend. So, being gay and a hate crime, and it's solved in the next part. Episode 8, Beat It Part 2. Riley's accused of gay bashing after punching Sam and is ostracized by his classmates. Feeling desperate, he decides to search for a deprogrammer to make himself straight. Meanwhile, Sav finds out about Anya and Leah LARPing and is upset and bewildered that Anya would hang out with losers. Also, Jenna has to set Dave straight. So, hate crime. Riley gets beat up by Sam in the bathroom. Well, he's about to get beat up by Sam, and then Sam instead gives him heart-to-heart. I think that was really good for him to have a heart-to-heart about, you don't need to let everyone know you're gay, but you need to be honest with yourself. Like, you can't go down this, like, self-hating crap road, because it's just not good. So also, Riley comes out to just Peter. I was glad that he finally told somebody. I think it's good to come out to your closest friend who won't tell anybody. And also, be supportive of your partner's interests with the whole Sav and Anya thing. If your partner wants to do LARPing, be supportive, okay? Like, don't... you have your thing, they have their thing. Episode 9, Waiting for a Girl Like You. It's matchmaker week at Degrassi, and Declan's not interested in a serious relationship. But when he sets his sights on Holly J as his next romantic victim, he's surprised to find she's immune to his charms. Meanwhile, Leia confides in Holly J about a rocky relationship with Danny, oblivious to the fact that Shantae also has eyes for him. So, you like a friend's significant other and you tell them to break up. And a guy chasing a girl. It's solved in part 2 because it was named as Love Games in the US. So, episode 10, Love Games part 2. Or somebody. Holly J begins to fall hard for Declan, but realizes that he may not feel the same way. Meanwhile, Dave and Connor's friendship is strained as Dave tries to improve his popularity among the basketball team. So, same problems. Danny starts dating Shantae. I don't think it was right to kind of jump into a relationship right after breaking up with Leia, but Danny seemed like he was ready, so as long as you're ready, I guess you can. Declan dates Holly J. So, he's dating Holly J, but then his mom doesn't want him to see her anymore because of an embarrassing thing with her mentor project. So Declan and Holly J stand up to their parents and say, we don't care that you say we can't date, we're gonna keep dating. I think that was a good thing to do. Don't let your parents control your life. 11, Heart Like Mine, Part 1. Casey's life is on the fast track, but when he and Claire start to grow apart and his feelings for Jenna grow stronger, he turns to Coach Carson for emotional support. Marco returns to Degrassi as a student teacher, and Holly J uses her friendship with him to her advantage. Casey begins to question his relationship with Coach Carson after he demonstrates questionable behavior as a teacher. Meanwhile, Fiona auditions for the school's musical, and Declan gives her a part regardless of the fact that she had a bad performance. So, predatory coach. In episode 11, that first part, he breaks up with Claire for Jenna, which I think was a bad move, but not going to listen to me. Predatory coach. So he tells the principal, so he gets arrested. That's good. He was showing him porn and hiring a prostitute for him. I don't know if I can say those words on YouTube, but I just did. Yeah, that's not... Yeah, please tell the teacher. Please, tell the teacher that, you know, they're doing this and that he gave him beer. Please tell the teacher that he was doing these predatory things because those people should not be working with teenagers or children or, anything. Episode 13, Holiday Road. Emma returns to Degrassi along with Kelly on their cross-country bike tour and is keeping a big secret from Snake and Spike. Shantae writes an article on the anti-grapevine about her date with Danny, making everyone believe he's cheap. So, episode 13, dropped out of university, splitting the bill. So, Danny talks to Shantae about her post, maybe you should have talked to me about it before you went and posted it, which I think is good. Have those conversations and don't just post your exploits on the... don't just post your exploits on the internet. And Emma talks to her parents about the future. I think it was good to sit down and be like, look, university's not For me right now, I need to figure out what I want to do, and I think that was a good way to do it. Episode 14, Start Me Up. Peter opens a club above the dot to occupy his time, and when Declan and Fiona's cousin Vicky returns, Peter's put in a dilemma with a decision to make. Meanwhile, Claire is supposed to write a short autobiography on herself, but uses a story that Declan told her as her own. So, above the dot opens, falls for a past flame, but she's still on drugs. So he drops her. Peter drops Vicky, because Jane found out that she's still on the drugs. Jane saw her wipe her nose coming out of the stall, basically saying she's still on drugs. Peter put her to a test and found out that she could get him drugs, so he broke up with her. I think that was a good way to go, but I really hoped Vicky was getting help, so I was really upset by that episode. Episode 15 and 16, Why Can't This Be Love or Broken Promises? When Sav's potential bride-to-be visits just in time for a junior spring formal, Anya refuses to be pushed aside. Meanwhile, Johnny tries to win Allie back by asking her to the formal. When she refuses, Bruce tries to set him up with Lindsay, a waitress at a local pool hall. But when Bruce finds out Johnny is avoiding him, he lashes out at him. Okay. So, arranged to be married to someone else, hiding that from girlfriend. She has sex with him just to keep Sav, because she's threatened by Farah. It's a mess. But then in the second episode, Anya takes the morning after pill. Good idea to take the morning after pill if you think you might be pregnant. And Sav breaks up with her for lying, which of course is something that someone's gonna do. I think it's a good idea to break up with your partner because they lied to you. It's just, like, that's just what people are gonna do, so don't lie. 17, Innocent When You Dream. Claire becomes obsessed with vampires when she starts having dreams about Declan becoming a vamp. Sav and Anya's relationship becomes even more turbulent. Okay. Sexual thoughts and feelings. Claire talks to Holly J after she kissed Declan's neck. I think it was a good idea to talk to the girlfriend, and I think Holly J handled it very well and was very like, these aren't perverted thoughts, you're not a pervert, you're growing up, these are thoughts that you have. And if writing vampire fan fiction stops you from kissing my boyfriend, then go ahead. Yeah, 18, In Your Eyes. Riley has been hiding his feelings about his sexuality for a long time and struggles about being open and finally meets a guy. Meanwhile, Claire volunteers to tutor Casey and Math as friends, but things turn sour when Jenna suggests Casey slack off on studying and consider cheating off of Claire. So, cheating on exam, anger management training. So, Claire stands up to Casey and Jenna, which is good. If somebody cheated off of you because their girlfriend thought it was good, you have the right to go off. And Casey admits to cheating and said that Claire had no idea. I think it was good for him to take the responsibility for his actions. Talks to Zane about, coming out, and also they kiss. Yay for cuteness. I really like them together. And I'm glad that he talked to Zane about maybe there could be a next time they like hanging out. Let's hang out again, right? Episode 19, Keep on Loving You. Holly J and Declan are closer than ever. They've made it through the year. Holly J's applied for internships all over the city, and with exams almost done, all they need to worry about is Declan's musical. But when a bombshell from Miss Coyne, who pops up in Toronto regarding the family's plan for their next year, their relationship is put to the test. So, moving away. He gets Holly J a job in New York so that she can spend the summer with him. I think that was a good way to do it, kind of like, or at least invite your significant other to spend the summer with you where you're going to be before the school year starts again. 20 through 23, Degrassi Takes Manhattan, or The Rest of My Life. Okay. I know it as Degrassi Takes Manhattan. Goodbye High School and Hello Summer. In the 2-hour season finale, Degrassi grads and friends dive into the summer that will change our lives forever. And what's summer without a little romance or an unexpected wedding? So we have a lot to talk about, but jealousy. Fiona kisses Declan and he has a fight with Fiona the morning after, saying we only had each other, but that needs to change, because that was going to be all over the tabloids. I think it's good that he had the fight with Fiona to let her know that that was not acceptable, because why would it be? Jane played. She's out of the band because the singer's ex is back. She talks to him, and he acts like a skis because he is, but I'm glad that she had a talk with him and was like, no, she's back, I get it. Like, of course you're going to kick me out of the band, whatever. Because she also thought a romance was starting, so she had the right to go off on him. Spinner marries Emma. Jane goes to find her life story and says that that was never her story. I think it's good when your ex is getting married to somebody else to say to find your own story, but I think Spinner and Emma should have never gotten married. It should have been Sean and Emma, because even Stephen Stohn said in Degrassi's Most Memorable Moments video, he said, we should have never let her marry Spinner. I don't know how we let that happen. Fiona tries to take the job from Holly J, so Holly J locks her in her closet. I don't think Holly J locking her in the closet was the best way to go about it, but girl boss, I guess. But it was kind of rude how Fiona just kind of tried to take it. Spinner found out Jane slept with Declan, so that's at the beginning of the special. Spinner yells at her, then punches Declan. It was good that he was talking to her, maybe not yelling at her, but it was, I mean, I understand he was hurt. It's good that he tried to talk to her first, and then punching Declan was not the way to go about it, but if you're angry enough. That was episode 9. Tell me if you guys agree with me down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!